first, saying, "I hope you don't think I overdid it." Wei smiled, brushed a piece of hair behind Rose's ear, and replied, "You could never. But how did you—" Rose knew what he was trying to ask. "How did I become so rich?" She finished for him. Wei nodded his head. Rose took him by the hand and led him into a huge family room with a giant fireplace. Rick left them alone for the time being, as they both sat a few inches apart on Rose's stunning furniture. Rose told Wei about how her boss, the owner of the hotel, had passed away without any family or offspring to give his large inheritance to, so he gave it to Rose. She was more shocked than anyone. At first, she didn't know what to do with the hotel, and she felt guilty at even the thought of selling it. Then, she heard that Wei had moved into the mansion next door, and she was no longer a lowly servant. "You were never a lowly servant to me, Rose," Wei said. "I only let you run off that day because my mother was threatening my future. And I've hated myself for it every single day." Rose and Wei were now face to face, nose to nose, and almost lip to lip. Before they could kiss, though, Wei suddenly remembered he was a married man and a father. "Rose, I can't," Wei said reluctantly. "I know," Rose replied. "I found out the day I came back. I had asked Rick to go over to your home and see if you'd remember me. Instead, he saw you helping your wife and child out of the car." Rose gulped, then started again. "I started throwing parties first in hopes of aggravating you enough to move. But then you came over last night just yourself in your beater and pajama pants, and I just had to talk to you one more time." Tears filled Rose's eyes as she turned away from Wei. Wei put his hands on Rose's waist and turned her toward him again. Before they knew it, they were both inches apart again. The same hypnotic feelings from 4 years ago came crashing down like a tidal wave as Rose traced her finger down Wei's chest. She could feel his desires pouring over her as her body tingled and ached for him. Wei latched his lips onto Rose's neck as if it were a deterrent from meeting her lips, because he knew that would be the final straw. Sure enough, his lips moved upward until he caught her lips. Then began an intense and passionate kissing moment. When Rick entered the family room, all he saw were Wei and Rose's clothes strewn across the floor, in a trail leading to the elevator. Afterward, as they lay in Rose's messy bedsheets, Wei held Rose in his arms as she rested her head on his chest. It felt as if no time had passed between them at all.